it's me, Renee. I'm back. Then, yeah, as you can see, today I want to talk about the conflict over in Israel-Palestine, which, it's been going on for a long time, but recently it's kind of been blossoming up because the week before this week there was an attack on Israelis during a concert, and 120 people were killed, which was not nice. And because of that, the Israelis have now they're saying that they're going to destroy Hamas, which is a organization in Palestine. Uh, and yeah, they also said that like they want to evacuate the evacuate people civilians who live there. But still, honestly, I suppose I don't know what you know about the situation. Not, I feel like most people have heard of it. Maybe they haven't heard much, but I suppose to put it in keywords, the thing is, before the Second World War, Palestine was Palestine. It was a place where Arabs and Muslims lived, and they seemed to be quite happy. And then after the Second World War, the world, or like some nations in the world, decided that it was nice for the Jews to have their own place, and I suppose they kind of also thought that themselves they wanted to have own place, and so the world decided that the Jews would have some property in Israel, or yeah, Israel, so that would be like neighbors with Palestine, or like in the same area. And I suppose that in of itself is not a bad idea. It's kind of nice to have a area that is yours. Though then again, I'm like, I don't really understand why because the idea is that, like, to have Israel to be like a place for Jews, like a country just for Jews. And I'm like, well, I'll say, at least in my mind, I feel like most countries, they have several religions in the same one country. There's rare that you just have one religion in one country, and normally it works fine. But yeah, but having one religion in one country shouldn't be that difficult. And yeah, they got some land, but a little by little they decided to take more and more land, and I didn't really think about the people that were living in the land. So like, the thing is that often now Israeli Jews, they can often go to Gaza and yeah, places over there, and they just they come into apartments and just decide to live in apartments where Palestinians are already living. They're just kind of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna live here." So yeah, they are definitely colonizing and occupying Palestine more and more, which yeah, it is not nice. Not This is not me saying that I appreciate or that I think it's good that Hamas went to the concert and killed those people. No, not that at all. I'm just saying that there is explanation behind it. I'm not explaining away, but I'm saying there is a context to it. At least here in Norway, a lot of people seem to think that if you say like talk about the context and history, you think like you're saying like this is good, this is why it's good. I'm not saying that it's good that people were killed in a concert. I'm saying it didn't come out of nowhere. Like some people you know say like they came out of nowhere, and no, it didn't. It's in a context. And yeah, of course, what really should be a thing here. Instead of bombing each other and kidnapping and those kinds of things, that's not really the way to do it. The way to do it is to have a conversation and try to find a peaceful solution. That doesn't seem like they want to do it at this point of time. It's kind of what the hope that we want them to have you want it to be a peaceful solution in the end. But right now, sadly, it seems like there's been a lot of propaganda, a lot of ideas put in people's heads that all Palestinians want all Jews to be gone from the earth, and all Jews want all Palestinians to be gone from the earth, and that's and yeah, that Palestinians aren't worth anything, and Jews aren't worth anything. Which, I mean, not my words, it's words of like people around saying that. And yeah, of course, when that's kind of thing that people go around thinking in Israel and Palestine, I suppose it's a bit difficult to want to sit down and talk to people that you feel want you and your people to be dead. But of course, that is oversimplification of things. It's not like that at all. I mean, yes, there are some people some Jews in Israel who don't like all the Palestinians and ditto for Palestinians. But I think for most of them, I think they just kind of want to live in peace and just live their life. And for the most part, that's not what's happening really. And at least, yeah, really, that's not happening at all. Like Gaza, which is one of those places where the Palestinian, which is one of the places where Palestinians live at this point in time. They have gotten like they've been a blockade against Gaza for like many years now. But yeah, now the blockade is kind of reinforced, so they are not getting medicine, they're not getting food or drinks, and like the hospitals have been bombed, and it's not a good situation at all. It's not, yeah, it's not good. I don't really know what more to say than that, really. I mean, I suppose, and like this video is not really giving any, I feel like, that much new information because I'm not an expert in any way, and I just kind of, I just kind of hope and wish that this conflict resolves itself, hopefully soon. But I mean, right now it doesn't seem like it is, but I kind of hope it will resolve itself. And I also want to say, um, some people feel like seem to think that if you're for Palestine, that you're against Jews. No, that's not my feeling at all. I'm kind of that naive thinking. I feel like can't. I mean, naive thinking. I feel like I'm against Jews. And against sorry, I'm for Jews and I'm for Palestinians. Just because you're for Palestinians does not mean you're against the other ones, Jews. Just because I feel like Jews should not be persecuted and victimized like they were in the past does not mean I feel like you should be able to victimize and persecute Palestinians, which is actually what has been happening for many years now. I mean, the Jews were persecuted before the Second World War, and the Second World War had not a good time at all. I mean, they were victims of that, like hands down. But then when they got more and more parts in Israel and like took more uh, property, the Palestinians were the victims now because yeah, I mean the Palestinians. I mean it is the Palestinians have president and they have a country somewhat, but they're not really recognized as a country. They kind of more like a area in Israel, and so like I mean they're in a slight area in some parts of Israel, and Israel has the most property, and they have military, they have the money, they have the upper hand. So it is not nice to be Palestinian, I would say, most days really. Um, and yeah, again, I'm not saying that all Jews are idiots and bastards and should not be valued and things like that. No, I'm just saying. I mean, why can people be just nice to each other? I suppose it's kind of what I'm saying really here. And yeah, naive thought, but I mean, you should be able to be nice to each other. I mean, most people are taught in children's in primary school and in kindergartens that you should be nice to everyone around you. Like at least in a way, you taught that like be nice to the world, and the world will be nice to you. And that's kind of a good thinking. I mean, yeah, a lot of times in the world there are conflicts and stuff, but yeah, I mean, you teach your kids to be nice, and then on a bigger, grander scale, you have all these conflicts, which is not nice, really. And also, I kind of want to say, I have this thought. It's going to sound a bit naive, probably sound a bit naive. Hopefully, you'll kind of understand where I'm going with this, but I mean, yeah. And this thought that I'm having, it's a bit of a joke, yeah, but it's also kind of a bit of a wish that I have. I mean, it's a daydream. It's not gonna happen like tomorrow anyway. But I kind of have this daydream that because yeah, it's not just in Israel and Palestine. It's not just in Ukraine and yeah, in the war in Ukraine because you have conflicts all over the world. It's not just one conflict. There's so many conflicts in the world. And also in addition, you have like places like in the US where there's a mass shooting every week. It seems to be. I mean, more or less, kind of seems to be. Um, and because of that, I kind of like people seem to be so happy and so wanting to have guns and to use them for war and to violence, and they seem to be so happy with that. But it's like also like, does it need to be this much violence in the world? To see this much conflict in the world? There's no need to be it. I mean, it was yeah, you can't just smile away the conflict in the world. But I don't know. I have this daydream that the only guns and weapons in the world in the future in the future will be water guns because yeah, having a war, but if you just have a war where what's thrown against you is just water and nothing else. I mean, yeah, I suppose it could be damaging if you're standing very close to someone and you have like a big water gun. That could be like that could also make you hurt. But like in general, a water gun and gunfights is kind of the best scenario with like fights and conflict in the world. And I feel like, yeah, why can't we just have water guns? I mean, water guns, they're fun. You use a gun, but they don't really make any damage. And yeah, kind of hope that's something that happens in the world in the future. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna happen probably, but that's something that I hope will happen. Have I have a I have a daydream of that happening, and yeah. Other than that, uh, as usual, I'm not really that good at like linking stuff. I feel like I never really am good at linking stuff, but I feel like also like there's a lot of people who already have like shown you where you can donate money to donate to the Jews or Palestinians or donate to Doctors Without Borders. Like if you have some money, donate to those people because yeah, it's not an ideal situation at the moment. It's kind of bad. Definitely not the best situation at the moment. But also not to say that if you're a broke student or whatever, that you can't do anything. Like you could, as usual, well, yeah, as other times, you can just share things online in social media. Share things by people who are showing their real world situation, and don't share fake news, but share things that are real. Share news things that shows the real picture and not propaganda picture. Like show people in your feed what is really happening. And yeah, you could also read some books by Palestinians or on the situation to educate yourself, and that you can do by just going to a library and getting some books or finding books in a local library. I mean, reading is activism in a way because you have book bans, so reading is a form of activism, and educating yourself is always good. And yeah, that is kind of my little video for today. I hope that my thoughts came across, and yeah, my sympathies and emphases are with people, both Palestinian and Jews in the Middle East at the moment. But also, yeah, I didn't mention this earlier, but yeah, there's also been some discrimination around the world because of this uh, conflict, upscaling conflict. There's been people in France and people in the US who've started to pick on Muslims and pick on Jews because they kind of think, okay, you're Muslim, so you have to be against Jews, and even though like they look at a Muslim in Oklahoma who has nothing to do with what's going on in Palestine, they start to pick on that person. And yeah, people, you have to remember, not all Jews are mean, not all Palestinians are mean, not all Palestinians are Muslims. Some Palestinians are Jews, some Palestinians are atheists. I mean, yeah, it's not like black and white, really. It's not that black and white. And yeah, yes, that's a video I kind of wanted to, yeah, talk to about today. And yeah, bye.